You are watching Fxbias, your go-to for no-nonsense, trade forecast, and transparent recaps. We dive into what is setting up and how our last few plays performed, so you can trade smart and not harder. This is Jarvis for Fxbias. Without wasting much time, let's get right into the trade recaps. Last week wasn't so great, but it wasn't so bad because there was 3 trades, 2 pound audit trades and 1 gold trade. 2 pound losses to be specific and 1 gold winning trade. And so let's start with the pound trade. Now you can see that there is 2 markups on it, right? So this yellow line here, let me start from this yellow line. This yellow line here represents the opening of market when market opens. Okay, so that is the 6th of April. So this line represents when market opens, and then whatever happens within the week until market closes, right? Okay, so this is the second line here. The yellow vertical line represents the opening of last week's market, like Sunday, the market opened last week. Okay, and then we have our normal levels here. This is a daily level, this is monthly level, right? Okay, so price made a sharp move above the monthly resistance, and so price was coming down. So the idea is price would have to come and touch the monthly level, monthly resistance, which has now turned to support before it moves up. So that's kind of the thought process for this trade, right? So you can see that price make a very nice price action there. Our price action is very detailed. We have a higher here, higher high, and another high, kind of like a head and shoulder pattern, right? Just like the head and shoulder pattern. So high, higher high, and high. Or somebody can also say that there is a liquidity sweep. So we have a high here. Retail traders should be shorting from the equal highs, and then price will break above to short people. So people who are shorting from this level will get squeezed, and people who are buying because it has broken above a resistance level here will also be squeezed. So that's kind of the idea. So I had a markup on the trade, right? Let's get back to the Audi. Okay, so if you go to the 1 hour, right, this is the initial trade. So high, and then we have a higher high, and then price came all the way down. So I had an initial trade here, but then I didn't take this. For whatever reason, I didn't take this. So when price was coming for the second retest, that is when I decided to get in on this, and it didn't go so well. So as you can see, that is kind of the thought process of the trade. Okay, so that is what happened with the pound Audi. Now let's move on to the second trade of the week. The second trade of the week is XAU USD or gold. You can see from here that price came to a daily support level. We have a lower low here, and then price moved above the daily level. We tested, and then we expected a higher high to be formed, and then price did that very nicely. So this is a 1:2 2.5R. This is 2.5R, and what price did afterwards is very surprising. So let's get to the charts here. Let me open the chart to show you something here. Okay, so this is the entry. So like I explained the thought process: low, lower, low, and then move above and retest on that. So one can say that why didn't you just wait, hold for price to all the way up? Because holding this trade would have been like 1:8 trade, but instead I got 1:2.5. And one will say, oh, sometimes you just have to keep riding the trend, trend is your friend and all of those things. I would very much like to do that. In fact, I would want to, move it 1:8. 1:8 in a week is not, it's not a bad trade at all. That's a brilliant risk to reward. But then this account is actually a prop account. And so I needed a 2.5 RR to complete the account. And that is why I only targeted 2.5. Other than that, I would have leave the trade to run, because with all the uncertainties happening in the market, with the tariff news and all that is going on, I think gold is the asset that investors is relying on right now, and so I would very much like to hold it. But then I only needed 1:2. In fact, when price got to 1:2.5 R, the prop closed the trade because the target was hit, and so they had to close the trade. So you can see that this is a very perfect entry here, and then price moved all the way up. So daily levels, daily support, daily resistance, and this is a monthly resistance level. So next week we will see where gold. So that's a wrap for the gold trade recap. Now let's get to the third trade for the week, and this is pound OD. So when the first trade failed here, price eventually moved up and then touched the daily level again, as you can see from here, and then from there it's moved all the way down to the monthly level. And so the overall bias for the pound OD is bullish, right? And so the initial first trade was like going against the trend, and the second trade is actually moving with the trend. And this trade had the highest probability because price has returned to the monthly level, and so trading upwards was the best idea. And we can check from the chart that it didn't go so well. Price moved a little bit and then came all the way down to hit the stop loss. So initially I had two ideas, right? The initial idea is where I entered, and then the second idea is where price is. So if I had entered from this place, then my stop loss would be here. It's not like these losses would break my account or would take me out of market or anything. There's a very small risk on the account, and so I can basically deal with the losses here. And that is how trading is. There are times that everything can be in order. You can have everything right, have your A plus setup, your confluences and everything, but then trade still would not work. So next week I'll be looking forward to this setup. If price decide to go up from the monthly level to the daily level, I'll look for a re-entry to the upside. Thanks for riding the chat with us. For deeper insight and full-scale tables, head over to fxbias.com. If you like these breakdowns, smash the like button, subscribe, and share it with a fellow trader. Until next time, stay focused, stay data-driven. This is Fxbias. One more thing, all the goodies are in the description below. We have 100% bonus from a trusted broker for you. We have a Telegram channel for you to join to connect with other traders, and also to get access to free signals. Thank you very much. See you next time.